Hello everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another cross-stitching video. This video is going to be another video that has to do with my whipping down process, and it's also going to be almost like a mini WIP parade because I think I'm going to pull out every project that I have, and I'm going to be making a list right here. I have this piece of paper of the things that I would like to finish that are like the priorities to finish now, and then the things that I will not be focusing on finishing right away, and that will end up being hopefully like my WIP rotation in the future whenever I get things finished. So that's what I'm going to be doing, is going through every project and putting it into one of those categories of do I want to finish this first? And that's mostly going to be things that are smaller, and then also some of my projects that are older will most likely be going into the finished one, and then the things that I don't plan on finishing anytime soon would be things like that I've just started, like Rose Library. I'm not going to be planning on finishing that one right away because there's other things that are a lot older, so those are the things that I would like to finish first. And so Rose Library will go into, like, I'm calling it like my dream rotation of once I get down to having less WIPs, I will have like a dream rotation of projects. Like the ones, like, I really love Rose Library. I love the colors. I love all the things about it. And Cozy Winter Book Nook is also one of like dream rotation of, I'll just have like these projects with these really fun colors. I'll have less to do, and so I can really focus on those projects. So going through all of them. Also, part of the reason why I decided to go through everything is because I have things everywhere, so things were a mess, and so I'll insert some like pictures of like my stitching area. I had projects that were just like down by like my feet where I would stitch, because I have like a little table that has my laptop in front of me, and I would sometimes just shove projects bags under that little table. And then I also have my stand, my Michael's 3-tiered cart. I have one of those next to me, and then I would just stack projects after I would finish working on them on top. And so there was like a stack of projects that I had worked on that need to be put away, and so I figured that while I need to organize, I should go through everything while I organize. And so that's what we're going to do. There's probably going to be a lot of like cuts and edits because this is going to be kind of take a while because everything is still not organized. So I'm going to have to kind of dig through things, and I might also have to take breaks because it could be kind of long. I'll also probably have to like take my phone out at some points because on Notion I have a list of all my WIPs and which project bag things go in. So like each of my project bags has a number that corresponds to my WIP list, and so some of the bags are empty, so I need to figure out which project is supposed to go into that bag. So it'll most likely take a little bit. So I'm just going to grab projects. I will try and grab some easy ones at first just to make things simple on myself. So first one right here is, this is Rose Library, artwork by Ivy Dollamore, charted by Unconventional X Stitch. I just started this, and like I mentioned, this is going to not be a finish right away. This is going to be something that I keep for a while. I'm not trying to get this one finished at all, so I will write that down on my little piece of paper. Rose Library, not finishing right away. So there's that one. The next one that I will pull is right here. This is the HAED Stitch Along from Heaven and Earth Designs. I am doing Merry Mushroom Village Picnic number 3. And the whole thing was like, if you finish this chart in the year, by the end of the year, then you would get 2 free charts from the HAED website. Because I'm not trying to start things, I really, I don't care if I get the free charts because I don't want to start things right now. So here's where I am on it. I'm not that far. And so my plan isn't to finish it this year, but this is going on to my finish section. So I would like to have it finished maybe next year because it's kind of small. It would be hopefully easy to knock out because it's, I think, 60,000 stitches. So this is going on to my finish section, so the HAED SAL. The next one is Little Gamer. So here's Little Gamer. It is from Gecko Rouge. The artwork is by Medusa Dollmaker. This version is no longer available, but you can still find the artwork on the Medusa Dollmaker website, which I will try and link down below. This is one that I would like to finish next year because this year my goal is to do 30,000 stitches on it, and that means next year there would only be 20,000 stitches left, so that is one that I'm trying to get finished. I don't think I'm going to mention like the fabrics for all these because the majority of my full coverage are either a 25 count or a 28 count, and they're mostly 2/1 10 stitch, which is a half stitch. So I'm most likely not going to go over all of the fabrics and all that. But here it is, Little Gamer, and finish. So I have 2 so far. Most likely all the ones that I pull out now are going to be more of like the finished ones, because the ones that I'm pulling out now are the ones that were by my stitchy area, and they are the things that I have been working on more recently, so they are the kind of focus projects. Okay, this one though is one that I worked on recently, but I'm not trying to get this finished. So this is going on the not finishing side, and this is Rainbow Basin, artwork by Emperor Pep and charted by Tilton Crafts. And I don't have very much done, and I restarted this in December of 2023, so it's new-ish, because if I go by the restart date, it was just started. So this is going on the going into my like not finishing side. That will be my dream rotation once I finish things. And one that I need to pull down because it's up here actually, I have it like on display, is Kita. Kita is artwork from Hannah Alexander, charted by Pinky the Pink from makeitpink.net. This is one that I plan on finishing hopefully this month, so that's going on my finish side. So Kita, for sure going to be finished this year. I don't know if it'll be this month, but hopefully this year at least. Then I have the board game stitch along, and the board game stitch along I haven't done very much, and so I was thinking I have a few stitch alongs that I need to work on, and so I was thinking that maybe not this year but next year try and do one part of the stitch along each month, and then these are going on this is going on the finish side because it's smaller, and like I said, if I break it down into monthly pieces, hopefully I can get it finished. So that's all I have done is the center tile. It's a board game stitch along set up Catan style. So if you've ever played Catan, there are tiles. And so each board game is going to have a tile, and I'm so far behind. I will say the fabric for this one is the called for fabric, which is called Board Games from Witch's Garden Crafts on Etsy. And I did pick, I think, a 16 count for that one. And that one can go back into its bag. This one is a complicated piece, and the reason I say that is because I plan on doing a lot of small things onto this one thing, onto the one piece of fabric. And so right now I am working on a Nintendo Switch from Glitch Stitch AU, and it's got Pokemon on it. So it's the most recent Pokemon game that came out, which was Scarlet and Violet. These are the starters from that game. This is complicated because I do want to finish the Switch portion, but even when I finish it, this isn't going out of my active rotation because I also have a Sailor Venus started on it. So this piece itself won't be going out of my rotation because I plan on doing a lot of things on it. So this is going on the not finished side because I don't plan on having it actually fully finished anytime soon, because I have plans of putting other video game things on that piece of fabric. So that one will be on not finish. I have Autumn Harmony here. Autumn Harmony is from Maxine Gadd, charted by Maxine Gadd, and my plan is to hopefully have this finished next year. So this is going on the finish side, which is going to be nice because this is my first project I want to finish that is over 100,000 stitches. Everything else that I've talked about is under 100,000 stitches. And if you watched my previous video where I talked about whipping down, I mentioned that I'm going to have two categories. So under 100,000 stitches, if I have two finishes in under 100,000 stitches, then I can start something else under 100,000 stitches. But if I want to start something that's over 100,000 stitches, I need to have two finishes that are over 100,000 stitches, which is going to be slightly difficult, but we will see. Hopefully some of my tent stitch projects I can work on a lot and get finished, but I'm not sure how that's going to go. So I have a lot of project bags here. The next one is one that is going on the finish side, and that is Strawberry Farm from Flossie Fox Shop. This one is nice and small. I think I'm at 33% on it right now. So I'm really hoping that I can get this finished this year because I am doing... So I have two different ways that I'm trying to finish things. So one way is I am going to start doing Finish Friday, where I work on a piece that I want to get finished every single Friday. So I will work on Strawberry Farm on Friday. Once that's finished, I will pick a different project to work on in its place. And then I'm also doing daily stitching on Autumn Harmony to get her finished. And then once she's finished, I will pick a different project to do daily stitching on. So that is one way that I am trying to like get things finished, is by having little days that are specifically for finishing, and then also a project that I work on until it's finished. And I have one more in a bag that's down here, and that is Game of Thrones from Tilton Crafts. This is going on the not finishing side right now because I don't want to get this finished because I do enjoy working on this whenever there is a Thrones type show out, so House of the Dragon. There's also going to be one about Dunk and Egg. I can't remember the name of the show. The Hedge Knights or something was the book. I can't remember the name of the book. But there is another Thrones spin-off show coming out, and so I'll be working on this when that comes out. So I don't plan on finishing this anytime soon because I like to have it to work on when I have my shows to watch. So I have two projects here that are going to be going on my finished side. The first one is Northern Lights. I cannot remember the Etsy shop, but I will have it linked in the description. And this one's small. It's only 7,000 stitches, so I plan on trying to get this one done. I think I'm going to work on Strawberry Farm, get that finished, and then I will put this one in its place because it's another small one, so I will be working on that one right after Strawberry Farm. I need to get that written down though. The next piece that I would like to get finished is going to be Medina Gates, which is from Cross Stitch the Globe. Stephanie has artwork that she has charted from different places that she's traveled to, and some of them were places where Game of Thrones was filmed, and so she converted her artwork into cross stitch. And this one is small. I think it's 20,000 stitches. I've only done like 1,000 or something, so it's not that much. But I plan on working on this one after Northern Lights. So that one will be coming up, I don't know when. It depends on how quickly I can get the other ones finished, but that will be another piece to get finished. So I think that's everything that was not on my shelf, and so now I'm going to be pulling pieces off of the shelf from the project bags. And so the first one here is Tarot Town 2, which I've been working on forever because I restarted it. And that is from Heaven and Earth Designs. The artist is Ciro Marchetti, I think is the pronunciation, and this is all that I have done on it. It's not a lot because I restarted, and the reason I restarted is because my original start was on 22 count 2/1 full cross. I did not like that because it was very thick and bulky, and so I restarted it on a 28 count and I dyed it, so I don't think I'm going to do all of the background, which is why I started in the middle so that I can kind of just stitch what I want and then I can stop when I am done. So there is my little baby start on this. This is going on the not finished section because I don't plan on getting this finished anytime soon because it's big, and I also need to decide what I'm going to do in terms of the background, and I don't want to think about that right now. I kind of just want to work on the projects and get them finished that are like the easy projects where I don't need to make any changes, I don't need to think about them at all, and just have them finished. The next one is Walking in the Rain from Artisy, and this is one that I don't plan on getting finished anytime soon, and part of it is because I mentioned that I want to have categories of projects. One of the categories is I plan on having a fall category, and this will be my fall project. I technically have like two fallish projects, so I have Autumn Harmony and Walking in the Rain. My plan is to get Autumn Harmony finished, and then Walking in the Rain will be my fall chart to pull out in the fall. So hopefully next year Autumn Harmony maybe will be done, and then I can pull this one out in the fall and get working on this one. And so this one will be a keep for a while. And then there is Templar Prophecy, which is by Long Dog Sampler. A part of me says that I should put this on the finished side because it's my oldest Long Dog, but there's another part of me that's like, just I don't know if I have it in me right now to focus on this, but I might just put it on the finish just to get myself motivated because otherwise it needs to get done. It's from like 2019 or something, I think, so I really just need to work on this. I do love the fabric. The fabric is a fabric that I dyed myself. I am using DMC 666, which I love, but I think because it's such a dark fabric, it is hard to stitch on. I need a lot of light, but I'm going to put it on the finished side, get myself motivated, because that's the whole point of this, is that I need to get the motivation to finish things that have just been sitting for a long time. So Templar will stay, and that means that there's one that I already know will be a not finish, which is Dragon Hall from Long Dog Sampler, is I will put that onto the not finished side so that I will then have a Long Dog that is in my rotation ready for me once I finish Templars. This one is Santa's on His Way, charted by Charting Creations. I don't remember who the artist is for this one. And I think this is one that I am going to put on my finish side. It's going to take me a long time to finish it, but okay, I'm going to end up having two categories. I'm going to have a Christmas category for the charts that are strictly Christmas, and then I am going to have a winter category because to me they are different. So like, you know, Christmas and winter separate. So I technically I forgot about Cozy Winter Book Nook when I was talking about my charts that are Christmassy, wintry, and so I technically have Santa's on His Way, and then I have Christmas 2, which are both Christmas charts, and then in my winter category I have Cozy Winter Book Nook and I have Heaven on Earth, which I consider more of winter and not Christmas. And so I need to get one from each of those categories finished so that I am left with one. So Christmas 2 is larger than Santa's on His Way, so Santa's on His Way needs to be the priority to get finished so that I only have one Christmas chart left. I also have a non-full coverage Christmas chart that I need to get finished, so when that comes up and when I'm showing you these, that's also going to be going on the finish side, just so that I can get rid of some of my Christmas projects. The next chart is Dragon Hall, and like I mentioned, this is going on the not finished side because I plan on trying to get Templar Prophecy finished. And that way I'll still be left with a long dog, which is this one, and then I can eventually finish this one later once I get other things done. And this is being stitched on a fabric from the sewingshop.ca. It's called Iron Ore, and I love this fabric so much. This next one is going to be another one that is a not finish right now because it's really big and I am not very far. This is also one that I am doing on 18 count 2/1 full cross, so it takes a lot longer to get anywhere on it. But this is Dear Alice from Artisy. When I started it, I was doing all the black first, so this is just a lot of black, and that's all I have done. You can't tell anything that is really... You can't tell where anything is. I also started it from the bottom because the way this chart is, the top has a lot of green and then the black is more along the bottom. So it made more sense to start from the bottom and then stitch my way up, which isn't really my favorite way to stitch, but it's fine. And so this will be a keep because I'm not very far, and I also don't feel like tackling another full coverage project that is full cross. Like, I'm already doing Autumn Harmony on 18 count. I don't want to do another project right now on 18 count. This next one is Heaven on Earth 2, which is one that I will be trying to get finished because this is, like I said, this is to me a winter chart, not Christmas. And so Cozy Winter Book Nook is the one that I will be keeping and like moving into like my dream rotation, and then Heaven on Earth is the one that needs to be finished, and because it's smaller and it's older. I started this in I think 2020 and it's not very far, but the chart itself is I think only 150,000 stitches or something, so it's not ginormous compared to some of my other things, but it's still pretty big. So the last one for this cube, and then I need to start putting some of my stuff back so that I don't make a bigger mess around me, this is Witcher from Thread Geeks, and this is it's either the large or XL version, but even then it's still under 100,000 stitches. I think it's only 90,000 stitches, and I do plan on trying to get this one finished because I love this one, and like what I've done so far stitched up pretty quick. So like when I did the black, it went fairly fast, and so I am hoping that it won't take a long time to work on, and it's under 100,000 stitches. So Witcher will be a finish. But then I have Yennefer, who is, you know, from the games and the shows too, and she is going to end up being on the not finished section whenever I get to her. So just a little spoiler there is I don't plan on finishing Yennefer right away. I'm just going to focus on like one at a time and then go from there. Okay, so now I am doing this shelf, which this shelf has not a lot of charts on it right now. There's only 4, which means that everything else must have been out around me already by my stitching area, so that is going to be a quick one to do. The first one is Mayera Salome, which is artwork from Nini Thomas, and this one I haven't done a lot. This is one where I am kind of deciding if I want to keep working on it or if I just want to UFO it, just because I like it. I just don't know if it's like a piece that I am as excited about as some of my other ones, so I'm going to kind of put this, I'm going to make a maybe section. I didn't do that before. So I'm going to do a maybe section for things that might be leaving the rotation altogether. So that's a one I need to think about. I might put this down in the bottom where I put snow cherries, and we will think about that one. We'll save it for later, and we will come back to it maybe when I feel differently. Like once I have finished some things, then I might feel better about like working on some of these other things, but it doesn't bring me as much excitement. I think because of the colors, I really do just like brighter colors, and that one is not. So the next one that I'm going to show is Sanctuary. And this is one where I've kind of been thinking, because I don't actually have, like I mentioned that I want to have categories of like seasons and stuff. I don't have anything that is specifically like summer like in the title. And so I was thinking about putting Sanctuary in as like my keep rotation, so I'm not going to finish it. And this could be like a summer piece because it has like a lot of flowers and stuff. And I don't really have a lot of things that are like flowery like that. So I might keep Sanctuary and have this be like my summer piece. So there it is. This is from Charting Creations. The artist is Sheila Wolk, and I really love this piece. The colors are I love this piece. Also, someone finished it in the Charting Creations Facebook group, and it was amazing. So that made me even more excited to stitch on it because it looked so good stitched up. So Sanctuary will be on the not finishing right away side. And then this is Yennefer from Charting Creations. It's the same artist as the Witcher piece that I showed, but some of the pieces are on Charting Creations and then some of them are on Thread Geeks. And this one was the Charting Creations version, and I did buy the kit, and I think I actually have an unboxing video on my channel of when I got the kit. So here is Yennefer, and I am doing all of the black first, but like I said, she's going to go on the not finishing side because I don't plan on finishing her right away, and she will be kept as like another one of my fandom pieces for later. And I love this piece so much. I love both of them, and I'm really excited to have them both one day finished. I will mention for these that Witcher is stitched on a 25 count and then Yennefer is stitched on a 28 count. The reason I did that is because Witcher is slightly smaller, and so for Yennefer I am doing her on a fabric. She had more stitches in her in general. I also cropped her chart a little bit, and so the whole point of cropping her and then doing her on a 28 is I want her to be the similar finish size to Witcher so that when they are done they will be fitting in like similar frames. So Yennefer will be a keep. There's also black floss on me. And then the last one in this section is one that's going to be a not planning on finishing right away, and that is Christmas 2 because it's huge. And I cropped it and it's still huge. So this one is from HAED. Artist is Ciro Marchetti, and the fabric is just wanting to go everywhere. This is my small start. I think I started it last year during Flossmas. I am stitching it on a 32 count 1/1 tent stitch using CXC, and I really like the coverage of the black CXC on the 32 count because I do have other projects on 32 count 1/1 tent stitch, and the darker colors of DMC definitely don't cover as well as the CXC on the 32 count. So that was really exciting to know, and I used the 32 count because I'm hoping it will make this piece a little bit smaller, because this one, I can't remember how many stitches it is, like 300,000 or something, so it was fairly big. It's also one of my few projects that I have in an actual bag, so yeah, this is going to be a project I plan on keeping for a while. It has like a very nice project bag that was from the sewingshop.ca. They had a Christmas mystery box where you would get a mystery project bag, and then you would also get some pieces of fabric to make like ornaments and stuff on, and that was very fun. So there is my fancy project bag, and so yeah, like I said, this one is going to stay around. It has a nice home to live in, so why would I not keep it around for a very long time? So there's that one. These ones will go back on the shelf, and like I said, there was only 4, and now there's only 3 because I technically took one away. So that one was an easy peasy shelf to do, and then now it's just all of these. So these are going to be mostly probably newer starts because this is where I started adding things, because my projects before went up to like 32, and now I'm at 35, 34 if I take away my Ara Salome. And so these ending ones are most likely like the later additions, the newbies. So I forgot to write down Christmas 2, so I need to do that real quick. So going into these project bags, Okay, so the first one I will show is it's a stitch along. So this was the Keyblades to the Kingdom stitch along from Stitchy Rin, and it is a stitch along based off of Kingdom Hearts. So I love the video game Kingdom Hearts, and in the game you fight with a Keyblade. And so it has a bunch of the different Keyblades from the video games, and I need to work on this. I think that this is going on my finished side because it is a smaller piece technically. I'm kind of having a couple of thoughts though. Number one, I'm thinking about starting on a different fabric because this fabric I'm using right now is I think it might be a Michaels fabric, and it's very, very stiff. And I also am thinking about stitching it on something that's like an 18 count, not 18, but like a 28 or 25 count where I could do tent stitch and then have it go faster. I am going to keep it though. I just don't know if I'm going to keep it on this fabric. So I will show where I am. I'm not that far, but this fabric. All right, there's going to be a break there because my camera reached its limit on recording. It was like, you talk too much. But here is the fabric for that I'm doing right now. It's a fabric I dyed myself just using RIT dye. And like I said, I'm pretty sure this is like a Michaels 18 count. And so it's not the greatest. It is stiff. Like, if I hold it up, you can, it's not. Like, I'm trying to think of what fabric I have that is like an 18 count, that I have a good one, because I do have good ones. Autumn Harmony is an 18 count. She is not stiff. She is very nice and floppy. This, it's not floppy. I don't know if it's coming across, but like right there, like you can see these wrinkles are just holding in place. Like they are like starched in place. When you try and put it into a hoop, it is impossible to go into a hoop because it's just, I don't know if you can see, but like I put it on something and it's just like standing up. But, so this might be a restart. That's all I have to say about that one. It's going on the finishing side though, because I do want to finish it if I do get a different fabric. If I get a different fabric, I most likely will keep this fabric and then try and wash it a lot and see if that will help soften it, because maybe it just has a lot of the stiffener still in it. But I did wash it because I dyed it. So I dyed it pink. That is one that I gotta think about what I want to do for fabric wise. I should look through my fabric in a minute and see what I have for fabrics, because I also don't want to buy things right now. I'm trying to buy less because one of the things that I was going to show too is like organizing some of my area here, because I have stuff everywhere. Because I was buying stuff and then I would just like put it down in a spot, but it's not a spot where that thing should go. And so now I need to go and put everything away, get everything actually organized, and figure my life out. So this project bag has nothing in it right now. So the next one is the 12 Movie Nights of Christmas, which is another Christmas chart because I love Christmas. And my plan for this one is I need to get this finished. It's not that big. It's 24,000 stitches, I think. The stitch count is kind of hard to figure out because it's a stitch along and each piece had an alternate movie that you could put in. And so the main, what was originally sent was 24,000 stitches, but then you can switch out pieces, and so I don't know if each of the pieces had the same stitch count. So here is where I am on it so far. It's not a lot. My goal for this year on this piece, which I need to work on it still, is I wanted to do 3,000 stitches. And if I do 3,000 stitches, I think I'll be halfway done. And so then that would be next year I would need to get the other 12,000 stitches done. But this also has beads, and I think it might have like French knots or something in like this section, because this section here has like a hot cocoa mug and like popcorn and all that stuff, and there was like, I'm pretty sure there was French knots or something to add some like dimension to that area, which isn't my favorite. I don't like French knots if they are French knots, so that will be interesting to get to. But that is a finish. 12 Movie Nights. The next piece is another Gecko Rouge, it looks like. This one is Fables. Fables is a smaller Gecko Rouge. It's under 100,000, I know that. And here is where I am on it right now. My plan for this one is once I finish Little Gamer, I will start working on this one and then try and get this one finished, because then I do have one other Gecko Rouge WIP, and it's large. It's over 100,000 stitches, and so that's going to be the one that I save for last because it's going to take me a lot longer to get finished. The next piece here is one that's not going to be finished anytime soon. That is Pokemon Gen 1 from Lord Libidin, and this isn't going to be finished anytime soon. I think I started this, was it last year for Flossmas or 2 years ago Flossmas, and this is all that's done. So this will be going a keep. It will be in my dream rotation, a little fandom piece. I have so many fandom pieces at this point that that category is like exploding. The things that I am keeping as like my fandom stitching. The next one is my other Gecko Rouge kit, which is called Piper Boy. I love the artwork. It's not very far though. And so this is all that's done. I started in the center during Flossmas 2 years ago, I think. And then I recently worked my way up to the top because I prefer to stitch things from the top down. And so then the next time I go to work on it, it will be nice to be able to work from the top. But that most likely won't be for a while because my priority Gecko Rouge pieces are Little Gamer and then Fables. So Piper Boy will be a keep. And then I want to get those finished eventually though because I still have one more Gecko Rouge kit and I really want to get that one finished, which I will show very quickly. We'll take a little side detour. I have another Gecko Rouge kit, and this is another small one. It's like a cropped portion of a larger chart, so it will hopefully go quicker. And it is Sophie and Howl from Howl's Moving Castle. It's hard to see because of the plastic, but there you go, maybe. You can kind of see it. And so yeah, there's a larger chart available from Gecko Rouge, but this is like a little cropped like ornament shaped one, and I thought this was a very fun one. And I don't get Gecko Rouge Gold Club things anymore. I used to be part of the Gecko Rouge Gold Club, which is why I have so many of their kits, because you just pay monthly, and then every 6 months it used to be you would get a voucher to buy whatever you want, and then you'd also get a discount. So that was a nice way to get some of the things that I wanted. But then I had 4 of them and I was like, I need to stitch them before I consider getting any more. Which I will also mention real quick about Patreon is someone had actually asked, like, what are you gonna do about Patreon charts because they're gonna come out, you might want to start them. And I actually am not on anyone's Patreon anymore. I canceled all of them because I was like, most of the charts go onto Etsy eventually anyways, so if I want them, I can buy them eventually. But because I'm trying not to start things, I was like, I'm just going to stop doing it for right now, because I still have a lot of Patreon charts that I haven't even stitched. Like, I have a fall one from Flossie Fox Shop that I would like to start eventually, and there's a few other ones. I can't think of all the names, but there's quite a few that I have that I want to stitch, so I need to stop getting more and just focus on the ones that I need to do. So I did cancel my Patreons. I stopped the Gecko Rouge Gold Club. I'm trying. So the next chart that I will be showing, which one? This one. No, I just did that one. Now I'm getting lost. The next one is this. So this is a small one again, under 100,000 stitches. I think I did the math, and I had 19 charts that are over 100,000 stitches, and then I think there was 16 that were under 100,000 stitches. So it's not great because I do technically have more that are over 100,000 stitches, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought that I had way more full coverages that would be way over 100,000, but there's quite a few like Witcher that are like right on the edge. So Witcher had 90,000, so you know, it's close, but it's still under. So, and then this is another under. This is a mini HAED, so Mini Masquerade Pale Dawn by Adele Sessler, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's small. It only has like 9 pages, and this right here is 1 page, so if I worked on it, it wouldn't take me that long. I have finished a mini from HAED before, and it didn't take that long if I actually focused on it, and this one only uses like 25 colors or something because it's just like all grays and whites, so it might not take that long if I focused on it. And so this will be going on the finish side. Yay! My finish side is growing and it's gonna take a long time. And I did mention I am not giving myself a time goal for this. This could be years. This could be me talking for years about these same charts. Like, I'm going to finish all, right now I have 16 on the finish side, so it could be a very long time of me talking about these same 16 charts. The next one is Dark Cinderella from Pain Free Crafts. I think the artist is Barrett Biggers, and this is all that I have done, and this is a very large chart. This is going on the not finished side because there's no way I could get this finished anytime soon. And this is one of the ones that's on 32 count, and this is using DMC, and I was holding it the wrong way too. So that's another thing, is when you have things that don't have a lot done, you don't even know what's the right way to hold things, and that was the wrong way. So here's the dark colors on the Pain Free Crafts one, and you can kind of see that the DMC coverage is not very good in this section. I can still see the white through. Dark Cinderella will be going on the keep. And I only have a few left. Yay! This next one is Lord of the Rings from Glitch Stitch AU. This is another one that will be a finish because it's only 35,000 stitches, I think. So get this finished. Or is it 30,000? Either way, this is a smaller one. So get this one finished. This is on a 22 count 1/1 full cross, which I'm only mentioning that because it's different from the 28 and 25. So Lord of the Rings will be a finish. That puts me at 17 things that I want to finish so far, which is a lot. This next one is not something I want to finish, and that is Disneyland Map from Xana Cross Stitch on Etsy. This is huge. It's on 18 count, and I don't plan on finishing this anytime soon, and I'm fine with that because I want to be stitching on this for a long time because I love Disneyland. I will love stitching on a piece that is about Disneyland for a very long time. So that will be a not finished. This will go perfectly. Like I said, I have kind of tried to like create in my mind, like what is your dream rotation? The things that you would love to work on regularly all the time. And so that's what I've been using to decide what gets finished right away and then what gets put into this fantasy rotation. It's almost like fantasy football or something, but with my WIPs, like what? If you made a perfect WIP list, what would it be? I'm almost done, I think. I need to go through and make sure that I didn't miss anything. But this next one is Cozy Winter Book Nook, which, like I said, this is going in a category and it's going into winter because it's not Christmas, it's winter. So there is Cozy Winter Book Nook, and this will be a keep because this is 500,000 stitches. And so my plan would be to finish smaller things before I try and tackle this ginormous monster of a piece. But I will also enjoy stitching on this for a long time to come because it's got so much fun stuff in it. There's like cats and mice and just little details everywhere. So that will be on the keep. Right now, that puts me at 16 things that are going on to my not finishing side that are like my perfect, if I get things finished, what would be my perfect rotation, even though it needs to technically be smaller because this sounds good right now, but over the next few years, I'm most likely going to start at least a few things, and so then those things will need to be put into categories too of like, do I keep it? What will my rotation be? I'm hoping that I can get a rotation eventually that's down to like 25 or 20 WIPs, and right now I'm at 35, so it's a stretch. So here is my paper. It's going to be hard to read, so but I'll insert the numbers of what I'm at. So like I said, the not finished side was at 16. The side of things that I want to finish is at 17, which is a lot, and some of them will be easier than others. Examples: Strawberry Farm, Tiny, that will be easy. Kita is almost finished, so that's going to be easy. The harder things are going to be the full coverages, like Santa's on His Way, because that is over 100,000 stitches, but it's also tent stitch, so it will go faster. And yeah, and then there's one maybe, which is my HAED SAL. I might quit it or I might keep it, but right now it's not something that I was like super excited about. So if I'm not super excited about it, it's going for right now, just to like lessen the load, to lessen what I have to think about. So I am missing one chart though, I think, so I need to go find what chart I am missing. I found the last one. I was missing a chart. So the last chart that I was missing is Mariner. This is also going on the not finishing side, so that puts my not finishing side at 17, my finishing side at 17. So they are right now even, but obviously, like I said, things will change once I get to a point where I want to start other things, even though right now I don't want to start anything. Like even thinking about starting Link, because I will finish Strawberry Farm, finish Kita, I could then technically start Link. I don't know if I want to right now because I don't feel like starting something in the middle of like the beginning of trying to have less. I haven't even started to order the materials for Link, and so that is something too to consider, is I don't have the stuff all to start it because it uses a lot of metallics, and I'm pretty sure that they switched to where the charts before, like Kita uses DMC metallic, which you can get just at Michael's, but I think that Link uses Krynic, which I would have to order. They do not have that at Michael's, and I think it used quite a few of the metallics. So here's Mariner though. This is another Maxine Gad chart. I plan on keeping this in my rotation and not finishing it right away because right now my plan is finish Autumn Harmony, and then eventually this will be more of something that I try and focus on. So it's not a focus for right now. Right now I'm going to go through though and try and get some of these put away. Mariner will be seen though this month because it is on WIP Go and it was picked for this month. So I need to do 1,000 stitches on Mariner for WIP Go. So that one needs to go, I think, on the shelf. But these are the wrong way. Alright, so I have went through everything. So like I said, it was kind of like a mini WIP parade. I didn't give full details just about every project, you know, about like the fabrics and all that, but you saw everything and I have sorted everything, which was my whole purpose of this, is to get things organized and to sort out what are the things that I want to finish and what are the things that will not be finished right away and they'll just be kept for an extended period of time. I don't know exactly yet my plans on how I will finish things, but now that I have a list, I can start to look at it and then kind of break things down. There are some smaller things that will be easier to get finished, and the thing is though, is I don't want to finish all the really small things fast, because if I do that, then I will get overwhelmed if all I have left is large things. So I need to kind of figure out a way of like doing like a small finish and then kind of a slightly bigger finish, and I need to find how I want to do that. And also, I still am trying to do some of my yearly goals because some of my yearly goals I have not met yet. And so it's kind of hard right now to try and make plans to finish these other things when I am still working on yearly goals. So it might be something that I don't make better plans on finishing more things until the beginning of next year. And then I can kind of be making my plans solely focused on like getting some of these things finished. And then I might take my WIP Go board and then just put like the non-priority pieces onto a WIP Go board so they will still get worked on, but I'll be able to focus more on the things that are the finishes. So that is all though for this video. It was kind of crazy probably and chaotic because I had a lot of things that I was trying to figure out, but I'm excited to continue this process. So far I've gotten a lot of comments from people who have also mentioned that they wanted to WIP down. There's some people who are like, I can't WIP down because I want to start things, which I love. I love seeing other people start things. I will be living vicariously through everyone else starting things for me because I'm not. And like I said, the reason I'm not is just because I can't keep this all organized. It's getting to be a lot, but I will be living vicariously through everyone who is continuing to start things. And I hope though that this helps anyone else. It's going to be a process. It'll take a while. There might be a lot of videos if I keep coming up with things to talk about, and it also just helps to get the ideas out there, and then other times people also have ideas that they can help me. So if you have any ideas of how to get some of these things finished, you can leave them down below, but I will see you all in my next video. Bye!